welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Bernice and I'm back again with another video. So today I'm going to be talking about things you should know before moving to Germany, like basic random facts you should know, you should already be used to before you come to Germany, so nothing comes like a cultural shock or nothing is like new to you, or like, you know, just Bernice told you, so there's something you should already know even before you get to Germany. And I have such good news for people who plan on moving to Germany. I have found an easier way to move to Germany. Like, I will do a video on that like next time, but today's video is the things you should know. So if you plan on moving to Germany, these are things you should know. These should be like, can I live with this? Am I okay with this before you come to Germany? So let's just get right into the video. So first things first, it is very, very normal for Germans to stare at you. Like, I'm sorry, I do the same thing. I haven't been in Germany for a long time, but now even I do the same thing. So basically, they just look at you like you are standing in a bus and people are just looking at you like this, like they're staring, they're not blinking, their eyes are just on you. Like you feel the stare, you feel it on your body, in the back of your head, that someone is staring at you. And it's so German. It happens every day, every time, everywhere. But with like the number of months I've been here, I've noticed that it happens for a reason. If they keep staring at you, it means, first of all, if you're in a village and they're staring at you, then it means the people staring rarely see like colored people. So if you're a black person, they rarely see colored people. But if you're in the city and they're staring at you, then it means you're doing something that is like is weird, it's out of character, something that's like most Germans wouldn't do. It means you're just being like, you know, weird, you're being different. That is why they stare at you. They're staring at you because you're doing like something they don't understand. I personally stare at people because I'm trying to like see what you're doing to the end, like, you know. So if you're doing something, I find what you're doing interesting, I'll keep staring. Sometimes it's unconsciously, I keep staring, like, and when it comes to mind, I'm staring, I'm like, oh shit, like, oh sorry, like, you know. And the only way to counteract this staring is to stare back. They hate being stared back. They hate it. Like, you know how, but the thing is, in Africa, we have these staring contests, who will blink first. And like, you know, you're so excited, like, who will blink first? So that's what I do with them. That's what I imagine I'm doing with them when I see someone staring at me. When the person starts staring, I start staring back. The minute you stare back at them, they take their eyes off and they start doing something else. But me, I don't stop. When they take their eyes off, I'm still staring. So they also feel how uncomfortable they were making me, like, you know. But that's the thing, it will happen to you every day, and it's not just one person doing it all the time. It's always different people, which means there will always be someone different staring at you. So you just have to get used to it and just learn how to counteract that staring, or just ignore. If you're like, you know, that quiet person who doesn't want any problem, just ignore them and like just be used to it, just ignore it. The second thing is no smiling or talking. In Germany, we don't really do small talk. We don't like to do small talk. We don't smile. Like, so let me just give you guys a backstory. So recently, I was in the city center. I was walking and I stood at a point to wait for the bus. As I was standing there, 3 guys were walking by, and I think they were also coming to stop for the bus or something. And they were speaking Tree. I could hear them. So as they were walking and they got to my side, and the guy was like, actually, let me just say it in English. So he was like, oh, this is a nice girl, let me go and talk to her. And then one guy, so there were 3 guys, and one guy goes like, have you seen her face? Is this the kind of person you talk to? Have you seen how she looks angry? She's not even smiling. You want to go and talk to her? I don't know how they were expecting me to stand there and be smiling, or to walk and be smiling. Like, I'm a very nice person. I just don't know how to like walk and smile. Like, I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how people do it. But apparently I have a non-approachable face. I think it's a very German thing. Like, I don't know, but people just don't want to look approachable. But I personally try to look approachable, but I guess it just doesn't work. My face just doesn't agree with it. But apparently I have a non-approachable face, but I think it's also a very German thing. No one is smiling, no one is laughing, no one is stopping on the road to say hi, to say hello. No one is doing any of that. People have places to go. Nobody's about to stand and be like, most of the people who smile at you are foreigners and who have not been in, like, you know, in the country for a long time. People have been here long, they don't smile. It's like, there's no reason to smile. Like, what are you smiling for? I'm sorry, like, what are you smiling for? The third thing, so also in Germany, we don't walk slow. And the reason is simple. Like, I know people be like, oh, I'm used to. I think it's because we are so used to running for everything that it just becomes part of your everyday life. You just like quicken your steps as an everyday life something, because you run to catch your bus, you run to catch your train. I'm just letting you guys know. So if you're planning on coming to Germany and you're like, oh, my bus comes at 9:40 and I live 2 minutes away, so I'll come out of my house at 9:35, so that even gives me 5 minutes, so which means I have 3 extra minutes, blah blah. Let me just let you guys know. In Germany, the buses can decide to come 10 minutes early. They can just randomly, so you always have to check in your app. They randomly decide to come 10 minutes early. You just, the way my heart hurts when this happens, because I have places to get to and then your bus is just like, it's already gone. Or sometimes you're waiting for the bus, you get there early and the bus comes like 10 minutes late. The buses don't care. The buses don't give a fuck. The trains don't give a fuck. Like, they don't care. They pay, like, you know how you see all these things online about how the German train system is bad and things like that. It's a reality. It is definitely a reality. The trains can delay for 5 hours. The trains can just get cancelled at the last minute. Things happen. So in Germany, for everything, you always have to plan ahead. Don't be like, oh, it's happening in 3 hours, so I'll give myself like 30 minutes free time. No, give yourself as much gap time. Depending on how important the thing is, it's better for you to get there early and just wait than for you to try to get there on time, because you will not make it on time. You're going to be late. Just know that and no peace. You will be late. The German buses, the German trains, I don't want to say anything bad about them, but honestly, being in Austria and now being in Germany, I can tell you the German trains are the worst. They are the next point. You see this reaction? I should tell you just how terrible the German trains are. I've had to run for buses so many times, but one good thing about the buses are that the drivers are so nice. Oh, sorry about that. Compared to Austria, the German bus drivers are so sweet. They're so nice. Like, when I run and I get there and the bus has gotten up or has already moved a bit and I'm sweating, I'm like, oh my god, I've missed this bus. The driver would stop on the road and pick you up. Like, they are so nice. They're so sweet. In Austria, you're in front of the door. The driver hasn't even gotten up. You're knocking. He'll just get up and leave you. Like, he won't even stand. He won't even wait. Like, they don't. When it comes to this, the German drivers are like really nice about it, so I do appreciate that. So I will give them that, like, you know, I will give them that. So the next point is that all cities don't look the same. So if you've seen all these pictures online about how Germany looks like and things like that, there are really beautiful places and there are really ugly places. Know that and keep that in mind. If your plan is to go to the bigger cities don't look as beautiful as the smaller cities. That is my experience so far. So the smaller cities look way better. They look like, but I mean, of course, it's because I'm more like a scientist, a natural science student. So of course, for me, beauty is more like the flowers, the plants, the trees around and things like that. That for me is beauty. But of course, for people, beauty is like, for others, it's like big buildings and things like that. Of course, yes, that you see in the bigger cities. But if you want like nature beauty and things like that, it's mostly the smaller cities and things like that. Like, you know, that is where you'd see the beauty. But one positive thing about being in a bigger city is that in the bigger cities, it's actually much easier to get a job. Like, you know, because there are so many companies and things like that for you to choose from. But in a smaller city, it's a bit harder because they don't really have that, like, many companies and things like that. So of course, you do have to consider that as well. So my next point, yes, so in Germany, one thing I have personally noticed is that there are more foreigners than actual, like, you know, Germans. And even if you do meet actual Germans, they are more international Germans. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's like Germans that have traveled the world, Germans that have like been to different places, Germans that speak more than just, like, you know, speak more than just German. But these are the young ones, so don't confuse my words. So most of the young Germans speak English. They are very international. They've traveled. They are well learned and things like that. And you're more likely to meet a foreigner there, so be careful. Just because someone is white does not mean they're German. So you're more likely to meet a foreigner than you are to meet a German, in my experience. So I have met a lot of foreigners, and it's also like Germans that are mixed, like a German who is half German, half Serbish, half German, half Russian, like things like that. I've only met like a few full 100% Germans. The rest are all, like, you know, mixed and things like that. So my last point that I would like to dwell on, and this is for us Black people, like, this is for us. I'm just gonna let you guys know this from the very onset, because that was one of the mistakes I made. Just because you meet a Black person, that does not mean the Black person can speak English. Know this and know peace. I have met over 10 Black people, and every time they approach me or I approach them, I don't know, let me just personalize it. I just start speaking English. They approach me and I just immediately start speaking English because I just assume that since they're black, they speak English. But one thing I've noticed is in Germany, there are more French speakers than there are English speakers. Like, you know? So the black people are like very fluent in German, like they're good Germans. But then when it comes to English, it's like they're not so good in English. It's more for them in the sense of like French and things like that. I've met a lot of Cameroonians. I have met a lot of like people from Togo. So keep this in mind as well. Just because you've met a black person doesn't mean you're just going to automatically start speaking English with them. So ask them if they speak English first before you start, like, you know, dive right into a conversation, because you might end up confusing the person because not all of them speak English. That is what I have personally learned. That's the experience I've had. I have spoken to someone, I've had a whole conversation only for it to turn out that the person does not speak English. So I was basically talking to myself. But anyway, I was lucky that they understood a few words. They were not like fluent, but they understood a few words I was saying. So, but I was also speaking too fast for them, so I had to, like, you know, break it down after they told me that. And the whole point is just don't assume stuff until you ask them and they let you know what language they speak. Don't just start speaking English with them. Just because they're black doesn't mean they speak English. The world, but let me just say the world is not like mainly filled with Ghanaians and Nigerians that the minute we meet people, black people, we just assume they're from Ghana or Nigeria. Please no, it doesn't work like that anymore. And I'm happy that that mindset of mine is changing, because in Austria, when I met someone and I started speaking English, it was always fine. I have never really met any French person. They were all English and they were all from Ghana or Nigeria. So I think I just assumed that it would be the same thing in Germany, and even like more so. But since I've been here, I have met people from Rwanda, Cameroon, like it's mostly French and German. So don't just assume it's speaking with people. But anyway, I don't want to make this video too long. But I hope this video gives you an idea of what you should expect when you're coming to Germany, what like your mindset should be and things like that. So you should already start knowing this. So my next video, I will be talking about how to move to Germany without a student visa, without like a different way of moving to Germany. And I'm actually excited to talk about this, and I'll try my best to get the person I have met who came through this method to actually do this next video with me. Let's see how that goes. I'll first come talk to you guys myself, and then I'll later talk to the person. If she's okay with it, then she'll do this video with me as well. So not to make this video too long, thank you guys so much. Do not forget to click on the subscription button. We're currently 1,500, so do not forget to click on the subscription button to increase our subscribers. Do not forget to watch this video to the very end, to like, to comment, to like, you know, to put us into the algorithm. So it's like, you know, yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Till next time, check out Bernice. Bye.